Hey everyone, welcome back to Poplar Preparedness. I was just at Walmart and I didn't really need to go there. And I was also at Aldi because I was just checking up on the stock of the shelves. So I picked up some stuff because, you know, when you're there, you pick up stuff. Welcome to my Studio C, which is my grow racks, and I'm back in my basement. Just over to my right was the couch that was pretty much a disaster as a studio. But let me show you some of the stuff that I'm picking up still that might be of interest to you. I was just at Walmart, and of course they had their 70-cent marked down bread, and you just can't beat that. So it's fresh bread and it's tasty and it's dirt cheap. At Aldi, getting the milk chocolate with almonds. This stuff is like the cheapest chocolate out there, and yet it is so good. It is good Swiss chocolate, I swear. But yet it's cheaper than Hershey's chocolate. So I don't know how they do that, but I appreciate them. I saw some saltines on the shelf at Aldi, so duh. Grab those when you can. Saltines don't store very well, so you really need to rotate those. So I only have like maybe one other box other than that right now. So, but I do like them. They go well with cheese. Cereal. I like my shredded wheat, and I also like the Captain Crunch that Aldi does. These are cheap for cereal, and they're made out of wheat. They don't keep all that well, so you're going to have to rotate those as well. Of course, I bought some more canned hams. I firmly believe that between these and the canned chickens, that you can't have too many. And I may be pushing that theory a little far, so we'll see if I regret that or not. I've picked up a couple of these canned corned beef cans. I have not liked this stuff. I'm trying to experiment with it to figure out whether I can make some concoctions and some recipes where I can stand this or tolerate this. It's the cheapest beef out there. It's like Spam, but for beef. Of course, I keep picking up bacon bits. This is not the best packaging, so once you buy these, you're going to want to repackage them into, what I'm doing is I'm putting them into pint-sized jars and just dry sealing them with oxygen absorbers. It's not perfect, and it's not going to keep them forever, but it's certainly going to keep them for a while. And like I've said, I am stocking up on Italian stewed tomatoes. I can look to my right, and the table where my old studio is just covered in beef stews, about 40 more of these, and some Nitos, and then next to it is just flats and flats of chicken, canned chicken, and rice, and pinto beans that haven't been repackaged yet. And I believe there's some more of these over there too. But Italian stewed tomatoes with lentils, rice, seasonings, dried onions, and you basically are on your way. I have jars of minced garlic, like still wet, minced, and in oil, and then you put that in there too, and then just other spices, and you're looking at a real lentil curry that goes great on top of that rice, and it's fantastic. And both the lentils and the rice keep indefinitely if stored properly, so that's a win-win. So I'm looking for delicious recipes that use the dry stores that you have. I just did pick up some propane canisters. They are kind of pricey. They're about $5 a pop. So $10 for the two of them, I think, which is pricey, but I have an excuse. I'm going to be using these for my tabletop. I'm not sure if I'll be cooking down here on this table in this new studio. I'm going to spruce it up just a little bit more, and when I get back from my trip, I'm going to start the next rack's going to be all microgreens and such. But I can do some cooking down here with trying to figure out how to make this edible. I really want to do opening up some cans and stuff like that and showing you by weights what the different meats do. I have a bazillion of these instant mashed potatoes. You can't go wrong with those things. But once again, you need to repackage them. That's important. I got some interesting ones here for the finale. Of course, more lighters. Ferro rods. I think those are hilarious. This is a useful tool for the propane canisters, right? I have other propane canisters that I just need to refill, but then this is going to be, useful as not a blowtorch, but, a fitting torch. More iodine tablets. These things do not have an indefinite shelf life. Even if you don't open them, they do start to go bad. The tops will rust and such. I've had that issue before. So as packaged right here, if I don't break the seals on this, it might last relatively well, but humidity can get in there, and once humidity gets in there, it just destroys it. Iodine, you can't use this consistently for a long period of time, but for short periods of time, I think this is really the way to go. If you need to dose some water occasionally, like for a backpacking trip, like if you're in the back country and you're up above tree line, or you're somewhere where the water is actually quite clean, these can actually be real handy. And I think these are great for like get home bags and go bags, that kind of thing. I think it's better than carrying like a Sawyer Mini or something like that, because these are just lighter and these are faster and just less finagling with all that. Bleed stop. Some people have mentioned this. I saw it on the shelf, so I grabbed it. This is not a recommendation in any way. This is more, I wanted to get it and kind of fiddle with it a little bit. I'm still a quick clot fan, because that's what all the people who seem to know what they're talking about say to get. Bleed stop, I have not heard that recommended by anyone who is a medical professional. So if you use this, storing it somewhere where you don't have a first aid kit would be the thing to do. So like, but if you're putting it anywhere where you might actually have a real injury like that, the question is, why don't you have a first aid kit there? But I might throw some of these packets some places just in case I don't have a first aid kit there or something like that. But anyway, something that I don't see mentioned very much, but really should be a huge necessity, is head nets. How many of these do you have? Because if you're around bugs, and the bugs are mosquitoes and all that kind of stuff like that, they will drive you insane. It's best to have head nets. You can get these impregnated with chemicals and stuff like that. This is not, doesn't have any chemicals in it, but you put this over your head and tighten it down, and then put gloves on or whatever like that, and you're in the back country, and then you have no exposed skin. That is really, really handy. Put your socks over your pant legs, and then bugs can't get at you. And I can't tell you how much of a relief that is. It is ridiculously awesome to be in a bubble where bugs can't get you, especially when the bugs are going crazy. I picked up a couple of these. These are like under bed storage units, because they're going to go up here for hydroponics, aquaponics, hydroponics. Hydroponics is without the fish. Aquaponics is with the fish, but I'm not doing the fish. And then, so I got a couple of those, and then a couple more trash cans. Trash cans are like giant 5-gallon buckets. They don't seal as well because the lids are flimsy, kind of, whatevers. But having a couple of these trash cans ready to be filled up. So like in my basement down here, I got a utility sink over there. Just having these cans ready to go to fill them up with water if things start to go downhill. That gives me quite a bit of water. Both of these are 32 gallons, so if I get a little bit of a warning and I fill up both these 32-gallon trash cans, that's 64 gallons of water, which is minimal standard survival water of 2 gallons per day. Survival, not cleaning and all that kind of stuff like that. Survival water for 30 days. That's actually, for one person, that's pretty good. The problem is that as I've had trash cans sitting around down here, waiting to be filled up with water, is that they tend to get filled up with rice and then sealed. It's funny. Somebody comes in here and fills them up with rice. And do you know how much rice you can get into a 32-gallon trash can? A lot. You can get a lot of rice in there, and I have several trash cans full of rice and beans and such like that, in addition to all my 5-gallon buckets. So that's another thought there too. If you can't afford the buckets, or you can't find the buckets, or you don't want to mess with the buckets, now you can't move these trash cans. Once you fill them up with rice or beans, there is no moving these things without breaking them. But I think they're like 16, 17 bucks or something like that for a 32-gallon trash can. The lids are not airtight, so you're going to have to either seal them or seal everything in the trash can before it goes in the trash can, and the trash can will just keep critters away from it and stuff. So that's some of the things that I'm stocking up on right now. As you can see behind me, I got my plant starts. They're still not doing all that great because the basin's still kind of cool, but hopefully I'm going to see a lot more of those popping up. Hopefully, I know I'm behind the curve on that, tax season, everything like that, but still hopefully get those things going before it warms up enough to start putting them in the ground. But I think I'm like a week late or something like that on the optimal schedule. But for Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it is still cold outside. So anyway, those are some thoughts. Hopefully I've provoked some thoughts in you, and I will see you guys on the other side. Steve Poplar out.